entrepreneur who is joining us today. It is officially day 4. I can't believe this. Sam, I'm not sure about you. I can't believe that we are actually on day 4 of the GEW 2020, proudly in partnership with Exaro Resources, powering possibility. I can't believe it. How do you feel this morning, Sam?
No, I'm feeling great. I'm very grateful also, grateful to God, grateful to the partner, grateful to Marang and you as our honorable program director today. I'm very grateful to you also. And most importantly, to the SMMEs, like you said, it's been an exciting 3 days, past 3 days. On Monday, we had Label Lion. On Tuesday, we had Busi. And yesterday, we have the electrifying and highly energetic Shubi Mboya. So it's been awesome. It's been full of learning and full of unlearning also, Yes. So we are great. We are grateful to have you as the program director today.
Wow, I'm happy to be here. I really am. And just by way of introduction to everybody who's joining us this morning, my name is Matlodi Speak Queen Khatle, the Speak Queen. So follow some of the work that we do for entrepreneurs at Speak Kingdom on Twitter. But I'm also quite interested to know who you are. So maybe you can, just for a short while, open up your videos so that we can see some faces. And while you are opening up your videos, please be mindful of these housekeeping rules that are on the screen. So we would prefer your videos to be off for majority of our session this morning. And that is just to help with bandwidth. These internet chronicles. Hey, they are very, very hectic. So if you can just keep your videos off for majority of the conversation and make sure that your mic is on mute so that we don't interrupt whoever is on the podium. But we will be giving you opportunities to just pitch in and ask questions. So make sure that when you want to ask a question, you unmute yourself. And then I would also like you to take note of the chat box where we will be gathering all the questions that you have for our amazing speaker today. We have York Zuchi today, an amazing, incredible business mentor and serial entrepreneur. So that's where he'll be getting majority of your questions. But for now, can I see some faces at least? Maybe let me stop sharing my screen so that I can see some faces, at least. Let me do this. Any faces? Yes, that is lovely.
Good to have you guys here.
Hi, Tegopato. Is everyone else in their morning gowns? Is that why they are reluctant to share videos with us? It's not a crime. It's not a crime. So regardless of what state you are looking like, just let's see some faces so that we know there's proof of life this morning. I just wanted to find out if our delegates can let us know the chat section are joining us from this morning. So can you just let us know in the chat where you're joining us from? Mubango joining us from Polokwane, Limpopo. Onika from Evander in Mpumalanga. That's beautiful. Tegofajo from PTA. Hello. I'm liking this. I'm liking that I'm seeing so many people from the Exaro host communities. This is quite exciting, Sam. We're seeing a couple of people from Mpumalanga, Dumisho from Witbank in Mpumalanga, Mangwedi from Limpopo, which is incredible. Keep letting us know. So keep letting us know. And while you are populating that, I just want to share some important announcements with you this morning. And the first one is that we have an exciting competition. And that is a business competition that will allow you to be in the standing to win your share of 200,000 Rand in grant funding. So how this is going to work is we will be receiving business pitch videos on social media, particularly from entrepreneurs that are in Limpopo or Mpumalanga. And this is because we are focusing mainly on the host communities where Exaro has a presence. So if you are joining us today from Limpopo or Mpumalanga, this one is for you. You are going to submit your 2-minute business pitch video across the different social media platforms, and the overall winner walks away with 50,000 Rand. And we have a second runner-up who can walk away with 20. I would like Sam at this moment to share the pitch explainer video, just so that we can give our entrepreneurs a slice of what they can expect when they pitch their businesses for this competition. Sam?
Pitching. Are you an entrepreneur based in Limpopo or Mpumalanga? Do you have what it takes to win a share of 200,000 Rand in grant funding? Then register today on www.67ceos.org. Participate in the masterclass sessions on how to effectively implement digital marketing strategy. Submit your 2-minute business pitch video to be one of the 6 winning SMMEs in Limpopo and Mpumalanga only. To be eligible, make sure you participate in the masterclass sessions during the 67 CEOs Global Entrepreneurship Week from 16 to 21 November 2020. Submit your 2-minute business pitch video, which should include your business name, industry, and province of operation, which must be Limpopo or Mpumalanga. The lessons learned from the digital marketing masterclasses, and how you will spend the cash prize for the sustainability of your business. Also ensure that your business is registered, operational for more than 1 year, and have a business bank account with tax compliance. Upload your pitch on all major social media platforms. You know them: LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and tag @67CEOs. Don't forget the hashtags. Hashtag 67CEOs GEW 2020 and hashtag powering possibility. Entries will open on the 16th and close on the 20th of November at 4 p.m. The panel of independent adjudicators will announce the winners on the 21st of November and notify them by email. Terms and conditions apply. Hashtag 67CEOs GEW 2020 in partnership with Exaro Resources. Hashtag powering possibility. For inquiries, contact the email below and let the pitch begin.
Wow, that's awesome.
Let's begin. So thank you very much for sharing that with us, Sam. I'm impressed to see that there's quite a number of people in the chat function, as we asked them, that are coming from the Exaro host communities. So I also want to remind everyone that the contest did not open on Monday, as we alluded to on the video, but it opened yesterday. And so you have until yesterday, which was Wednesday, to Friday to submit your business pitch. And winners will be announced on Saturday morning. So we were having quite an interesting conversation this morning about what it means to be an entrepreneur and to operate on the edge. Because really that's what it means. It means you need to be dynamic and you need to be always on. You need to be like that strong Wi-Fi signal. You know, you walk into some places and the Wi-Fi signal is just so strong. That's how you need to be as an entrepreneur. So let me get some faces on the screen, put your videos on and put your microphones on so that I can hear from you that are attending today how many of you would be ready to pitch your business now. And if you are ready, just say yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. To be so.
Yes. Yes. Anyone else? No one
Yes,
else.
please. Yes, please. I'm here. Yes, please.
Anyone else?
I only believe to Misha, guys. I'm only believing to Misha at this point.
Same here.
I only believe to Misha to be the most ready of them all. Like Evelyn, I feel like one pala.
You know what I mean? Misha, is that strong Wi-Fi signal? Do we have any other strong Wi-Fi signals in the house who are saying, I am ready?
Nice one, Onika.
That's the spirit. Yes, I love that, Onika. Temple, I saw your face on the screen, but I'm not sure if you're still doubting, if you are not sure whether you are ready or not. Rifilo, is that you?
Yes, that's me, babes. I'm very much ready.
Yes, I'm loving it. Anyone else? Harvey, I know we've spoken quite a number of times. Are you ready to just take the world on as a strong Wi-Fi signal for the sake of your business?
I am so ready.
Ready. Okay, now this is exactly what I want to see. I see someone has raised their hands. Kabelo Kenneth Mudimula, you've raised your hand. Is that to raise your hand to say you want to be counted as one of the strong Wi-Fi signals? I'm not sure. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the reason we are doing this is because I personally, as a public speaker and a public speaking coach, believe that the hallmark of a true entrepreneur is their ability to articulate themselves on the spot. It's their ability to tell their business story, to sell their product on the spot, not waiting for the opportunities to be ripe, but creating those opportunities for themselves. And so with that said, can I also let's start with Mpumalanga. On the count of 3, I'm going to count to 3. And on the count of 3, all those entrepreneurs from Mpumalanga who will be submitting their business pitch online, I want you to give me a waza! Waza! Are we ready? Mpumalanga, are we ready? Are we ready?
Yes.
Are we ready? 2, are we ready? 3.
What's up?
Limpopo, let's see if we can beat them. It felt a bit shaky. So Limpopo, I'm going to count you to 3 as well. And let's hear it from the Limpopo entrepreneurs who will be submitting their business pitch videos. On the count of 3, on the count of 2, on the count of 1, Limpopo. I'm not sure. Okay, now let's have Limpopo and Mpumalanga together. On the count of 3, if you will be submitting your business pitch to win a share of 200,000 Rand worth grant funding. On the count of 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
You guys are incredible. You are phenomenal. Sam, Marang, I'm not sure about you guys, but I am dying to see all these pitch videos. I think I'll sleep on social media today and tomorrow just to make sure I don't miss any of those pitch videos. So thank you so much, everyone. Just before you go off your videos, I want us to do a short exercise. I know a lot of us struggle with anxiety. We struggle with those last-minute jitters before you do your business pitch. But I just wanted to share one tip to enable you and give you that boost of confidence before you do your business pitch. So this is the last time I will ask everyone to switch their videos and sound on so that we can do this as a collective. So with your video on, you stand up, and you stand with that power pose. You know that power pose when you own your identity as the CEO. You own the identity as the founder of your business. Stand in that power pose. And then with your audio on, I want you to say, I am bold.
I am bold.
I am unique.
I am bold.
I am
Unique.
I am unique.
Intelligent.
I am intelligent.
I am a warrior entrepreneur.
I am a warrior entrepreneur.
I am a successful entrepreneur.
I am a successful entrepreneur.
Lovely. And then you close it off by saying, I am bold.
I am bold.
And then you give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. And then dust your shoulders off just like this.
Why
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely love our engagements. Let's keep the conversation running on social media. So maybe I can do a quick recap of what was covered yesterday, but also if you were part of the conversations yesterday, I would love to hear from you on social media. So it's at 67 CEOs across the social media landscape on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, as well as LinkedIn. Just share with us what some of your key takeouts have been for the past 3 days. So tag at 67 CEOs and don't forget the hashtag 67 CEOs GEW 2020. So maybe I'll give you a minute to just share with us on social media what your key takeouts have been for the past 3 days. And maybe you're joining us for the very first time today. Maybe you can also share at 67 CEOs what your expectations are for today's session. Don't forget the hashtags. Hashtag 67 CEOs GEW 2020 and hashtag powering possibility. We are really thankful to our partner, Exaro Resources, for making this a possibility. If you would like to have those hashtags, I will type them right now in the chat function for you so that you will not miss out. So it's hashtag 67 CEOs GEW 2020 and hashtag powering possibility. So just share with us on social media what your experiences have been for the past 3 days and what your expectation is for today. For me personally, yesterday's session with Hlubi Mboya was out of this world. She's like an effervescent. Her personality, kariki ino. You know when you drink ino and everything's just bubbling up. So much excitement, so many raw personal examples of how we can grow beyond our comfort zone as entrepreneurs. And maybe, Sam, before I introduce our speaker for today, is there anything that you would like to share or that you would like to say?
Absolutely. Dear entrepreneurs, especially those that are going to be pitching their business, I would like to reemphasize a few things because I've noticed that some of you are still asking questions on email, and those questions have been dealt with. So, for example, someone asked, how does he or she tag 67 CEOs on social media? That was a question. So I'm going to share my screen once again, and I'm going to make reference to some of the videos that I did at some yesterday specifically. So, for example, Busisiwe Ntuli representing BCN Consulting. And this is a video that I played from my, from my laptop yesterday. However, I'm showing you live today from Twitter. She posted, as I hope you can see my cursor, she posted a video on our profile, in this case, our personal profile. And she tagged 67 CEO and the hashtag that we used then. So, dear entrepreneurs that are going to pitch, you record your pitch with your phone and then upload it on your social media profile. It could be your Facebook, it could be your Twitter, it could be Instagram or LinkedIn. Any of these 4 social media platforms, you can upload your videos on them. Because like I said yesterday, someone emailed the pitch. That's it's not acceptable, guys. So again, here is another example. Tsetso, she uploaded a pitch on our profile and then tagged 67 CEOs and used the hashtag as it is required. And she also mentioned our business name. So these are the entrepreneurs that pitch during the Mega Pitch Fest in July, as you would see the date. So Matema also, so guys, I mean, you already used to using social media platforms. So I don't think we are asking you for something that is unattainable. It is very simple. Record the video on your phone, upload it on your social media platform, and tag 67 CEO and use the hashtag 67 CEOs GEW 2020 and 67 CEOs and the powering possibility. So please, I just needed to reemphasize that. And we are waiting for your pitch. We're waiting for your pitch. I mean, there's a lot of you here from Pumalanga and from Limpopo. Start submitting your pitch already. One of you did yesterday, and I'm very impressed with what they, and there's a little bit of wittiness also, in how they pitch their business. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you. I'm going to go to 67 CEO's profile and show you so that we can demonstrate what we are talking about. And I'm doing all of this so that you can feel comfortable and also see the demos of your fellow entrepreneurs.
In the fourth industrial revolution. Welcome. We are in the fourth industrial revolution, which is a dispensation of the survival of the fittest. And we understand that most young people are emanating from impoverished families, and it is evidenced through the high rate of unemployment in South Africa. But we've got a solution for you. We are a Crystal Arts, which is a designing and stylistic company which deals with fashion. And we believe that you want to be addressed the way you are dressed in your offices, at school, in your ceremonies, at your weddings, but there is no way in which you can do that without us. So if we win, this company will ensure that we buy more machines and employ more young to disseminate the skills that we have to them. And the only way in which we can do that is if we have capital. We understand that in our daily basis, most people are seeking to grab opportunities, but you can't without 7 colors. I mean, take a look at this. Take a look at this. We are an innovative company, honestly speaking, that takes our notions straight from the mind into reality. And we've attended a seminar where Visi Tembekwayo taught us that we must learn to unlearn what we have learned. And we can only do that if we attend more seminars, which speaks to the work that we are doing in the industry. Above all, we are the CSA. And for our contacts, you can find us on
0766 286387. Very simple.
And we are
the Crystal Arts.
The Crystal Arts. You can see, guys. If you wanna look great, you're gonna get greatness from the greatest of the greatest designers. We love you guys.
So as you can see, I mean, I love that pitch. Obviously, I'm not adjudicating it right now, but you know that gives you an example of what we are expecting from you. We've got our facilitator, York Shuki, in. Matlodi, you can take it from there. So guys, we're waiting for you to start submitting your pitch.
That is incredible. That is great. You know, I was sitting here watching that business pitch, feeling the pressure on behalf of other participants that will be submitted. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot let this opportunity pass you by. It's a golden opportunity. Grab it. We've already affirmed ourselves this morning. So take it and run with it. Thank you so much for sharing that, Sam. I am now very excited to introduce facilitator for this morning. And just before I introduce him, I would like for everyone to switch their microphones off, make sure your microphone is off, and then post your questions in the chat function so that we'll be able to pose our guest speaker this morning. But, you know, when I read about our guest speaker, I realized that he is in an entanglement with brilliance and entrepreneurship. Can you imagine what it's like to be in an entanglement with brilliance and entrepreneurship? He's a serial entrepreneur who's been featured in the Wall Street Journal, MIT, and NASA. He spent his lockdown, very interesting, he spent his lockdown at a safari lodge called Zebra Crossing, and that's where his dream of helping 10 million startups was solidified. He's got 27 years of business experience and insights that he has poured into this dream. And this dream is called the Startup Tribe, which is a platform that gives practical guidance on how to start and grow your business through numerous impact-driven courses. You know, York, I might actually take one of those courses myself. It's quite amazing what you've done on that platform. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give it up for Mr. York Zuchi. Before you start, York, I was on your Twitter last ZP, and he posted something quite thought-provoking last night. He said, the difference between an aspiring entrepreneur and a great entrepreneur is how they handle pressure. So he advises that we need to learn how to handle pressure. COVID has taught us we need to learn how to handle the pressure. So today he'll be sharing with us what we can do to access digital markets and what free online resources we can access to generate leads for our businesses. Let's give it up for the one and only Mr. York Zucchi. York, thank you so much. It's over to you.
It's an absolutely pleasure to be here today, and thank you for inviting me. But perhaps more importantly, thank you to everybody for investing your time. And time is a resource. So thank you for investing your time in this session. This is not a session about York or the Startup Tribe. This is a session to help you start to find clients and grow your business. So the whole point of today's session is really about generating leads for you. Because as you know, the cliche goes, without clients, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. Now, I don't know all of you, of course. I don't know your backgrounds, your circumstances, where you live and so forth. But a lot of what I will be teaching today, well, showing you today, are practical things you can do immediately to start generating leads. None of the things that I mentioned cost any money. They don't require you to sign up for things or buy things or download apps, I think. But in any case, there's no money needed. What I'm going to show you is a lot of the things that work and some of the things that don't work, but we've learned from our work supporting small businesses in over 83 countries. So you're going to get a lot of insights today. So I suggest, I don't know how you work. I work with paper and pen. Grab yourself a paper and pen. We've got 1.5 hours. So I'm even going to take my jacket off. So let's make ourselves really comfortable, everyone. Everybody, grab a paper and pen if you can, or if you want, write it on your phone, on your laptop, on your tablet. It doesn't matter. I'm going to give you a lot of things. And I think these videos are recorded. But the session of today is really how to find clients and grow your business. Now, it would help me enormously if in the chat box you would write if you're a startup, if you're at idea phase, startup, or small business phase, or growing, just to give me a sense of how many of you are still thinking. Startup means you still have an idea, you haven't quite yet have idea phase means you're still thinking about the idea. Startup is early days. Maybe you have 1 or 2 clients. Growth is you have 20 or more clients and then whatever. So please write in the comments box what you are. So it gives me a sense of your backgrounds. And then I can also use more examples that are relevant to you. But really today is about finding clients. And one of the things that I discovered in my research and in my work with thousands of entrepreneurs is really idea phase, startup phase, awesome, growing phase. Thanks, Harvey. Thanks, Andile. And one of the things that I really discovered is that actually there is a science to finding clients. And I'm going to tell you what the science today is. This is not a theoretical exercise. So I'm just going to explain it to you in 30 seconds. And then we're going to deep dive into practical things you can do immediately. Now, I'm looking at all your comments, still in idea phase, in a startup transitioning into growing phase. Well done. So, guys, whether you are a startup or, whether you're in the idea phase, a startup, or a growing phase, this session today is valuable to all of you. The only difference for the 3 different categories is that maybe in the idea phase, you're not looking for clients. What you're looking for is for people who are interested in the products or services that you are about to create, that you're thinking of. Because it's much easier when you do go live with your products and services when you have already a list of 50 or 200 people who are interested in them. So a lot of the lesson can be applied from the idea phase well through to the growth phase. I'll also show you some tricks. I sit on a couple of government funds that help startups in South Africa. So I'm very happy to show you some tricks on how you can get funding and financing for your business, even if you don't have a big history behind you. But I'll show you that at the end. So let's get started. Everybody ready? So let me start with the theory or the challenge that most of you probably experience. Now, what happens in the real world? You sell, let's say, websites, clothes, jackets. You sell services, gardening, lawn mowing, rubbish disposal. You have furniture manufacturing. It doesn't matter what you sell. You sit in this pocket with a couple of friends. This pocket, this network can be friends in Diepsloot, in Sandton, in Cape Town, can be your friends from high school, can be a co-working or incubator space. It could be people you hang out with. You are, let's say, for the sake of this example, you are in this pocket with these people, and you are you do beautiful interior designs for shops to make it more appealing for people to buy. In this pocket sits York, me, and I'm sitting and I'm chatting to Sam Apata, and we are having a chat about opening a new store, and we're getting very excited. Now, do you see what the problem is? You are over here, but you cannot be in this conversation. You don't have access to this network. You don't have a foot in the door. This is really the problem with access to markets. Access to market means finding clients, accessing a new market. The access to market challenge is an access to networks. You're here in this network and you want to actually be in this network over here. So how do we get you to have your foot in the door to this network? How can you be part of millions of conversations out there where they're discussing the kind of opportunities that might be relevant to you? So let's go into how that works. I'm going to show you practical things you can do immediately to be part of multiple networks. What we're going to create today is a concept called an engagement bridge. It's exactly what the name says. You're in this network. You want to be part of this network or many other networks. You might have a financial solution that you want to sell to banks. So what I'm going to show you now is how to create an engagement bridge. How do you go to make sure that your foot is in other people's networks so that you are always top of mind when people are talking about opportunities? For example, an architect is chatting with various people around a new project that they want to build, a hotel, a shopping center. And you are an interior decorator, you are a garden landscaper, you do electrical fittings, you are a plumber, whatever your background may be. You have a cool technology solution app for measuring traffic in a shopping center. How do we ensure that you know about that opportunity, that you are top of mind, meaning that when the architect and those people meet and discuss the opportunity, and they say, we need actually the plumbing. Oh, hold on, I was just about to think about Maya Lodley or York or whoever. So this is what I'm going to show you. So the first thing I'm going to invite you is to really think, and it's the foundation of everything, about what you solve. Now, what do I mean by that? You may be a website designer or the website developer. That's great, but there's a million other website developers. Absolutely not interesting. What you do. What you solve, however, might be much more interesting. Imagine if instead of saying I'm a website developer, I say, hey, everybody, I help small shop owners to go online and sell more. Now, I'm still using the website development as the tool to do that, but it's not what I'm selling. So the question to you is really, what is it that you're selling? And this is where I invite you to really think hard about this. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that. It doesn't matter if you don't get it perfect today, but what you're selling really isn't 2 pages. It's one paragraph. One paragraph is even too long. One sentence. Remember what I said about the the website developer. Maybe you're a landscaper. Maybe you're not a landscaper. Maybe, you know, when you do gardens, beautiful gardens, maybe what you do is you help people who want to sell their houses to make the garden look even better so the house gets more money. You see where I'm going with this? You want to frame what you do in terms of what you solve. You want to solve the customer's problem. Now, you might argue, no, but the customer knows what. No. The customer doesn't understand difficult marketing sentences. In plain English or in plain whatever language your customers speak, define what you solve. And now I'm going to show you a couple of tricks with that. Let's assume you solve something. And by the way, you're going to feel uncomfortable with this because we are all entrepreneurs and we all want to feel very important. And what I'm asking you right now is to put yourself in a box. I'm not asking you to be the CEO, the chairperson, the founder of a company with a cool name, with the marketing, thing, which is complicated and nobody understands. What problem are you solving? And that means putting yourself in a box. Exactly. Thanks, Sam. In plain English, tell the client what you solve. And here is the crux of it. When you make it easy for people to understand what you solve, two things happen. The one is people know when to call you. So you're not getting, you're not making these funny posts on Facebook and they attract 100 likes, but it's 100 people you don't care about. They're not potential clients of yours. So why are you wasting time with them? What you want is not the 100, 500, 10,000. What you want is the 5, the 15, the 30 people who read what you solve and said, that's exactly what I need. I am going to call him or her. The second thing that happens when you make it easy for people to understand what you solve is that people know when to refer you. I challenge you to ask your friends to describe what exactly you do. And I'll bet you, for many of you, they go, oh, I'm not sure. He's a CEO of something. He's a founder of a funny company name that I don't understand. So when people don't understand what you do, and they are another network discussing an opportunity, how are they going to remember you? How are they going to introduce you? Okay. So you've got to make it incredibly easy for people to refer you. Now, I know a lot of us wear multiple hats. We got a car wash, we got a mechanic store, we got a coffee shop. It doesn't matter what, we wear multiple hats. Decide which one you want to lead. You cannot run multiple business. Now, if all of them are bringing a little bit of cash, compliments to you. But one day you're going to have to start deciding where your focus is and where you're going to channel the energy. Because we are not going to be successful if we take a shotgun approach to life. You know, shotgun, the rifle which shoots bullets in every direction. What we need is a hunting rifle, one targeted bullet to the right type of clients. That is what we're discussing today. So let's assume, and this is really, thanks. Well, yeah, ask your friends, ask your family. Really, it's a very simple test. Do on Facebook, post it on Facebook and say, guys, I'm just asking, does anybody actually know what I do for a living, what I solve? And you'll be surprised. And it's okay to be embarrassed. And it's okay. By the way, it took me years and I'm still refining what I solve every single time. So don't think you're going to get it like this in 10 minutes, it's done. It's a work in progress. And now I'm going to show you what we're going to do. This is exciting. I'm going to have fun with you. So what you're going to do with this little sentence, and it doesn't matter. If you've got a pen and paper, write down now a sentence. I help small businesses. I design very cool cups for restaurants that want to stand out. I create or sell phone covers for people who are in the sun a lot, who want to leave a phone on the table, and it charges on the back. I don't know what it is, but my point here is whatever what it is that you solve in one sentence, we are now going to use that sentence, that statement, in a number of ways to start generating leads. The first one is very simple. I ask you, how many of you send emails? Probably quite a few of you. It just may be a short email here, forwarding a document to somebody, sending a message to a friend, a calendar invite, sending an invoice, whatever the case, a proposal, sending a quote, following up. Every email that you send is an opportunity to sell. Think about it. Look, if you looked at your inbox, if you open your tablet phone, your email, and you look at the bottom of your email, so so I take this, and obviously not an email, but at the bottom there's your signature, right? Now, every time you send out an email, if at the bottom, instead of just saying your name, your cell phone number, how important you are, your title, your company name, and so forth, every email you send has a signature. Remember, you do this once and it's automated. That says, are you struggling with finding clients? Then come to one of York's workshops. Or are you thinking of selling your house? Then contact me on how I can make your garden add more value so that the buyer spends more and you get more money out of it. That was horrible, but you get my point. Is your garden rubble piling up? Call me and let me show you how cheaply I can take your garden rubble away. You know, what my point here is, every email you send is an opportunity to sell, guys. And this is providing an integrated platform for Africa's need. Okay, sorry, so thank you for that, but I want you to get away from marketing mumble jumble. Forgive me for being so straight and direct. I don't want to, I know it sounds fancy, integrated Pan-African thing, but I want you to find something that speaks to the human being on the other line. Would you react if you received an email like that? Exactly, use simple language. Thank you for that. Now I really want you to write it in plain. Imagine you explaining it to your niece or to your daughter. What do you do, Daddy? What do you do, Uncle? And you say, well, I do integrate a solution for Pan-African, sorry, I'm not mocking you specifically. I did the same mistakes. No, I want you to be very crystal clear. And then what you're going to do, test it out, put it on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and says, hey, friends, I've been in the business, or I have a business idea, and I just want to reframe what I solve. Can I ask your help? What do you guys think about the statement? Would it make you want to contact me if you needed that solution? And then see how people react. And then you change it. And when you change a word, change a sentence, rephrase it. I tell you, I started with a big paragraph about what I solve, and my friends helped me collapse it down to one sentence. Thank you, Sandra. I provide an affordable platform for local small businesses. Now, I love that. That's already much more, but you are describing it in a high level, what I provide. Speak to your customer. Speak to your customer. Say, are you a small business? Are you a spaza shop owner? Are you a local operator? What are you, a service provider? Or I can help you find more clients. Speak to the human being behind that business, because we businesses don't do business with business. People do business with people. Speak to humans. So we were where I invited you to make yourself vulnerable. Put up on the internet. Ask friends what they think. Have them mock you. Have them criticize you. Get the punches. There's a beautiful saying, excuse me, there's a beautiful saying that I'm fond of, which says, entrepreneurs are neither made nor born. Entrepreneurs are panel beaten. And so you got to take some punches. This is what she was referring to when she introduced me with the tweet from last night. Everyone has pressure. We are all under pressure. It doesn't matter who you are. If you are in the entrepreneurial space, you will inevitably face dark and difficult days. But I'm telling you now, those who are going to be successful are the ones who start to learn the tools on how to cope with pressure. And I'm not here to teach you that. There's 1,000 fantastic tech talks, videos, YouTube clips, seminars that you can watch to learn. And really, it's a skill to learn how to cope with the dark days that you have. but I compliment you for wanting to be an entrepreneur. I come from, in my research, it shows that the future of business, the future of work isn't finding a job. It's what you are doing, starting your own business, grabbing destiny by the horns and owning your own future. It doesn't mean it's easy. But if we can get clients, I promise you it'll be a little bit easier. So let's go back to the workshop. I'm sorry, I'm half Italian. My mind wanders all over the place. So let's talk about what you're going to do with the what do you solve. Nice, by the way. I fix all electrical appliances. A nice one. You can see, by the way, by sharing, you can actually learn from each other. So if you see somebody who's got a statement, feel free to comment if you have a better solution or idea for how they can rephrase it a bit differently. We entrepreneurs are brothers and sisters. We're a family. We've got to stick together and help each other. So please comment on each other, help each other. Let's help each other. I'm not commenting yet on all of them. I will a little bit later, just because I need to focus right now. So what are we going to do with the sentence, with what I solve? And this is where it gets fun. Now, how many of you are, well, I can't ask it like this, but if you can post what platforms are you using? Are you using LinkedIn? Just write L. Are you using Facebook? Just write F. Are you using Twitter? Just write T. So just write F, L, T if you're using all three. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Just type it just so that I get a sense of LFG. What's G? Whatever it is, cool. Instagram, fantastic. Facebook, awesome, thank you. FLT, perfect. FLTL, wonderful, wonderful. And Instagram, awesome. Okay, so it's with Google. I forgot about Google. Thank you very much. It's a very powerful platform that people ignore. Google Maps as well. Thank you for that. So this is where it gets interesting. Now, imagine, and this is a fun part, imagine you have a house. It doesn't matter if you live in a township, in a shack, if you live in a tent, if you live under a bridge, if you live in a stunning house on a farm, it really doesn't matter. For right now, I want you to imagine you have a big house with this big wall on the main road with thousands of cars passing by every day, okay? Now, and that wall is blank, nothing that wall. And yet you are an entrepreneur. You know what you solve. I would kick your backsides. This is prime real estate sitting there not doing anything, right? Would you be angry with the person who doesn't write on the wall that they are you having plumbing issue? Call me now. Imagine thousands of cars passing in front of a wall every day, and then one day somebody has a plumbing issues on the way back. It gets a WhatsApp from the wife, the family that says all the plumbing is broken. Call a plumber. And just you're driving past and you see the wall that says, "Is your plumbing giving you a problem? Call me now. Is your water bill too high? Call me now. I'll help you reduce your water bill. Are you wasting too much on electricity? Call me now." You see where I'm going with this? That's real estate. Now, why did I use the example of the wall? Well, it's because all of you said you are on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Google, and Instagram, amongst the many. Now, if I went into your LinkedIn, I'm just going to use LinkedIn and Facebook for now, but what I'm telling you is applicable to all platforms. If I went to your platforms, at the top, the banner, or the Facebook banner, right? Or your LinkedIn banner, what does it say? That's the same real estate. That's the same wall that I was telling you about with thousands of cars driving past. What are you using that piece of real estate to generate leads? Are you? I'll bet you are not. If I looked at all the LinkedIn profiles out there, and you're most welcome to add me on LinkedIn, I'll even have a look at yours. But if I look at all your banners, they're probably blank. They're probably either an image or something motivational, but it's nonsense. You don't have time to be motivational or blank. That's prime real estate you guys and girls are not using. What is wrong? I want you to take your paintbrush and paint your wall with what you are selling. What is the call to action? You want clients. Every opportunity out there should be taken by you to generate leads, to find clients, to remind the world what you're selling. Exactly. Are you using your digital banners effectively? I love that. Thank you. That's a beautiful way. I'm going to plagiarize you for my next talk. So this is the fun part. Do you guys know a free tool called Canva? Canva.com. Canva.com. There's many tools, so it doesn't matter. You don't have to use that one. But I'm going to speak to Canva because it's free, totally free, and it's incredibly powerful. Now, if you go to canva.com, you will, Canva's the future. Okay, so we got a Canva fan. My point here is if you go to canva.com, there's a little search button and you type, let's say LinkedIn. You type in LinkedIn banner in the canva.com. Thanks, Sam. So you type in LinkedIn banner and it gives you hundreds, if not thousands, of pre-made templates, which are completely free, which you can just click and edit. And then you edit, and what do? You replace the picture with a picture of your business, what you do. If you're gardening landscape, use one where you are gardening or an end product. If you're technology, show your customers using it. You can even stage a picture. Spend an hour trying to get the right picture. If you are an accountant, have yourself doing the books or shaking the person's hand of your clients with a sign saving money and time. Have a cool picture that really, really captures the essence of what you solve. And then in the text of this banner, write what you solve. Again, you're speaking to an individual person. Hi, are you struggling with your books at the end of a year? Are you spending too much money? Are you losing a lot of electricity at home? Is your water consumption through the roof? I can help. Are your children not growing up? Do you want your children to grow up properly? Buy my juices. I don't know. I just saw a juice advert on the juice comment just now. So my point here is your LinkedIn banner, your Facebook banner, your Twitter banner, your Instagram banner, all of them, you do them once and they're there for life. Even your email signature, make it a banner, make it interesting, exciting, eye-catching. Create a beautiful email signature, beautiful banner. And I'm going to show you just now how we're going to drive traffic to your profiles. But it's no point driving traffic to your profile. 500 people come and visit your LinkedIn profile or your Facebook page, and you lose them because, as you know, people's attention is 0 or a couple of microseconds. So what's the point of making all the effort, which I'll show you how just now, of bringing people to you, and then you lose them? You're not converting them. This is why the banner plays such a crucial role. Now, you can make a banner which is a cold sale, or you can make a banner which is more call to action, which is more about passion, what you're passionate about. For example, I'm passionate about helping startups find clients so that they can be self-sustainable, they can grow their business, they can feed their families. You might be passionate about saving people electricity or saving people water leaks, saving people from high water bills at the end of the month by fixing their leaks because you're passionate about saving the world, saving the environment. Somebody else might be passionate about the potential of small businesses growing into Africa. That's why you created the Pan-African platform for small businesses. Whatever the case is, you can reframe something from I'm selling this to you to this is what I solve because I'm passionate about that. So it's really up to you. And I'm passionate about music. That's great, but don't forget to mix it in with what you're selling, what your call to action is. You're passionate about music, that's great, so am I, so what? So make it with the hook, and that's why it's quite complicated to get it right. It took me, I told you, quite a long time to get it right. And when you get it right, the funny thing is your business has now grown to a different type of business. And just a side note, all of you probably know Amazon, right? The big global e-commerce giant. You know, the problem with Amazon is that we think Amazon is the same when it started to the same way it's today. Amazon is not the same Amazon from years ago. Amazon, the only thing that stayed the same is the name. The business model change, the size, the complexity, the operation change. So don't expect the description that you use about what you solve to stay the same for the rest of your lives. It will adapt. Keep changing it. Okay, and by the way, so I'm looking at Lucky Mavuzo, the video of Lucky. You know, one of the things that I love is, I don't have it in front of me, do I? Yes, I do. 1 second. So Lucky, Lucky, you disappeared with the video. But what I'm saying is, you know, I have a shirt that I often wear in my workshops. This shirt was 160 Rand. Create your own shirts. There's tons of phenomenal people. Use every opportunity. Use your body to advertise what you solve. Get people. You have no idea how many people stop me in the street when I'm walking or playing soccer or something and say, that's interesting. What is it about? But you see on the back, it has a call to action, own your destiny, and then it has my website. So don't forget, it's got to drive leads to somewhere. And this is the important part. So you have gone, you've created, where are we now? You've created the what you solve, and maybe it's mixed with the ingredients of what you're passionate about. Share it on social media and let people give you harsh feedback. Really let them pummel you. Let them give you honesty. So it's better to have honesty now than spend 2 years looking for clients and you're not making traction because nobody was honest. Honesty is the best compliment you can get from an entrepreneur. It's not easy, but it's the best gift somebody can give you. So you've created the what you solve. You've gone on to Canva. You've created the banners for LinkedIn, for Facebook, for Twitter, for Google. Yeah, Google has a banner too. For your Google Maps presence, for your Snapchat account, or what is it, TikTok, you created the banners. Now, whenever people visit you, the first thing they see is what's happening. When you post a picture of you playing soccer, of your children, or something funny, the first thing they see is your banner, and they are reminded of what you solve. And in business, in marketing, repetition that's why you see all these adverts. It's just the same adverts over and over again, for which people are paying millions. Repetition is what helps people remember what to call you. And you want qualified leads to call you. Do you know what qualified means? It means that analogy I gave at the beginning. You don't want 1,000 people messaging you and saying, I'm not sure what you do, but I like the sound of it. You want the 10 people who say, I like what you do. It's exactly what I'm looking for. Let's talk, right? Good. Now, what are we going to do it's all very good that we got these different platforms, and now what are we going to do? What are we going to do to attract people's attention? Now I'm going to give you 3 tricks, actually quite a lot more, but they bounce on the 3 main ideals. Have you guys got pen and paper in front of you, or a phone or a tablet or a laptop? If you do. If you don't, not the end of the world. I suspect this video is recorded so you can watch it again. But what I'm going to invite you to do is to do 3 things. We're going to focus with the first one, which is I want you to learn the art of sharing what you are working on. What do I mean by that? Now, when I don't know, look, I'm a foreigner in South Africa, and I love South Africa. I think South Africa is one of the most awesome countries. And I think right now a lot of amazing things are happening, which are going to turn the country into the country that it should be, and given up where everybody has an equal opportunity. But one of the things that frustrates me about you is that you do this with your business. You don't share. You don't talk about it. You don't express it to others. Are you scared that people are going to steal your idea? You know, nobody's going to quit their job if they have a job, or quit their business and just copy you and do that. Think about your business. How much effort and energy does it take to create your business, to create your idea, to do all the marketing, to find clients? It's not easy. It's not just, hey, I have an idea and everybody's going to copy it. So move away from there. Somebody's going to steal my idea, and go to the mentality, somebody might steal my idea. Who cares? I'm going to have more clients than they are. So I invite you to start learning to share more what you're working on. Now, what do I mean by share what you're working on? Give you an example. I'm currently working with the mayor of Modimolle, which is a municipality in Limpopo, to create an initiative to help township entrepreneurs, blah, 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 blah. And here's the 3 things that I learned. Now, what have I done when I shared what I'm working on? You have 1, I actually told you a little story. I'm sharing with you 1, what I do, 2, who I work with, and 3, what problems we're trying to solve, and 4, the learnings that I have. So I'm also adding value when you read my post on LinkedIn or on Facebook. When you remember, you don't need to give away names or confidential thing. I could have just said the same thing as I'm currently working with the mayor of a large municipality to tackle unemployment in the township by creating more opportunities for people to become entrepreneurs. And I've learned 3 things, 2 things, 5 things. You see what I'm doing? I'm giving you an example subliminally. I'm telling you, these are the people I work with. This is what the problem that I solve, tackling unemployment. And the clients I'm looking for are municipalities. Now, I can share 1 post every day, but I wouldn't. I do every 3 days. That's my rule of thumb. Every day people get tired and they start unfollowing you. You want every 3 to 5 days. Choose 3 days with a nice picture. I'll always put a picture. Hopefully something about me working with the client, or about the mayor, or about the township, or the location, whatever. But I put something that catches people's attention. My posts are usually very short. I say, this is what I'm working on, and these are the 3 lessons that I learned. So that, because people are not interested in reading 6 pages or 25-minute vlog, okay? So when you share what you're working on, you're giving people an opportunity to understand the kind of projects that you do, what you solve, and who your clients are. Now, they don't realize it, but what you're doing is actually brainwashing them into becoming clients, or in remembering, because people remember stories much more, in remembering, so that the next time that you remember you're in this network, when they're talking about opportunities in this network, for example, Gauteng province is talking about tackling unemployment with all the people who have been fired due to COVID. Somebody remembered my story and says, you know what, I seem to remember York did something with another municipality. Why don't we call York? And they called me, and voila, you have now an engagement bridge. That's what you're trying. And now it's somebody who's qualified. I may not be competent to tackle the whole of Johannesburg, but I now can have a conversation. Excuse me. So on that note, the second thing that I encourage you to start sharing is indeed sharing creates engagement for your bridges. And next, become vulnerable. Make yourself vulnerable. And what I mean by this is I want you to start sharing what you're struggling with. Now, in your business, sorry, there's a loud noise outside. I hope you guys can still hear me. But in your business, you are probably struggling with something. Now, I'm not talking about a major struggle or a generic struggle like, hey, I need money, or I don't know how to start, or whatever the case may be. You are struggling with, hey, I'm growing tomatoes in Limpopo, and I have a client. I need to bring him to a fresh goods market in Johannesburg, but I don't have money for a bakkie. How is there anybody out there who's got spare capacity on a bakkie who can bring it down to Johannesburg for me in exchange of something? You can start sharing very specific things that allow you to tap into the good nature of all of us. Now, in an economy, there's always somebody with spare capacity. Remember the bakkie, for example, I may be bringing bottles of water from here to Verenichen. I don't know, is that how you said it? To Verenichen, which is, what is it, an hour and a half drive? And then on the way back, I'm empty. So I've got spare capacity. Maybe I have a warehouse which is sitting half empty. Maybe somebody has a space in their office block, which is not utilized, but they're paying rent. So if you say, hey, everybody, I need help. We're growing. We need to formalize our business. We're now looking for a bit of space, but don't yet have the money to pay deposit, full rent, and all that. Is there anybody who's got spare capacity in their offices for us? We are a small team of 2-3 people. You see where I'm going? Even laptops. Hi, everybody. We are a digital design agency. We just hired 2 young people, but we don't have the money to buy brand new laptops. Does anybody have refurbished laptops that they have but they're not using? Now you can tap into an economy, a second-hand economy that is enormous. You are sharing what you are struggling with. When you share what you're struggling with, psychologically, what you're doing is you're tapping into the nature of humanity. And we as humans, there's a study that was done years ago, 80% of humans want to help you, want to help each other. But they can't write you a check because you're looking for money. They can't write you a check because you don't know how to start. But they can very easily look around the room and say, oh, you're looking for a spare table and 2 chairs. Well, yeah, I have one in the corner that's been sitting there for 2 years. Come and fetch it. Voila, you just saved yourself a few thousand rand. Well, yeah, actually, I'm upgrading to the next phone. My phone is 4 years old. I don't buy new phones. I am saying, I'm taking lots more pictures than I used to, and this phone is really crap. I'm sorry. This phone is really crap. Does anybody have a phone? Is anybody upgrading to with a new contract and they want to get a bit of cash for their old phones? You can buy a new battery, and then the phone is brilliant. You see where I'm going with this. Also, when you're sharing what you're struggling with, hi, everybody, I am struggling with an order for a client who wants me to put beautiful Ndebele art on 1,000 cups for a big event that they're doing. I'm struggling with finding somebody who's able to print on these. Now, what happens when you're doing that? Again, you're giving them an idea. You're planting the seed of who your clients are, what kind of work you do, and what you do. But you're tapping into their heartstrings. The third thing that you can do is share what you are looking for. So remember, we talked about share what you're working on, share what you are struggling with. And the third thing, which sounds quite, is share what you're looking for. The reason why we share what we're looking for is because we're looking for partnerships. Now, what do I mean with partnerships? All of us are small businesses, right? Most of us are tiny businesses. Some of us are still at idea phase. There's no way any of us is going to become a large business on our own. Okay? Now forget that. No matter how brilliant or intelligent you are or how much money you are, you need people to partner with. For example, imagine I grow these pots, okay? Not the pots. I grow the plants in my garden and I sell these. Well, I need a pot supplier. Then I need an online shop where to put these pots so that people can buy them. Then I need, who are you as an entrepreneur? What is your core business? My core business is growing plants. I am not in the business of manufacturing pots. I'm not in the business of e-commerce. I'm not in the business of logistics when somebody orders the pots online. I'm not going to go deliver it. If you start doing all of these things, you are going to run into trouble. And the nice thing about today's society is that there are thousands of specialist business who focused exactly on that. And I'll tell you a very cool thing about a friend of mine who started a big fund for startups. And I'll show you exactly how to get the cash based on that model. But my point here is, guys and girls, decide in what business you're in. Decide, be very careful. You remember when I thanked you at the beginning for investing your time into this masterclass today. I said investing with a reason. I said investing because every hour, every 30 minutes, every 15 minutes is money, even if it's not money. Every 15 minutes you invest in something, it's like investing money. So when you invest 15 minutes on something stupid, you're throwing money away. If you do it consciously, because you are happy with it or something, fantastic. You've invested it. It's fine sometimes to buy a coffee because you felt like a coffee. But I'm encouraging you to start looking at your time as a scarce resource, meaning a limited resource. There's only so many hours per day you can work intelligently. After that, you're going to be exhausted. There's no way you can be really productive. So I'm inviting you to start thinking of your time like as it was money. Are you going to spend 15 Rand, 15 minutes of your money on that, 30 minutes on that? And the reason why I'm mentioning all this is when you share what you're looking for. Hey, everybody, I am creating these very cool phone covers. I don't know what they are, but I'm in the business of these very cool phone covers that have, I don't know, a Velcro back so people can put it on the wall. I don't know if there's a market for that. But my point here is, okay, that's my business, and I'm looking for shop owners who sell phones to partner up. I have great commissions for you. Or I'm looking for spaza shop owners to put these, or well, whatever the case is. I grow these pots, these plants, and I'm looking for interior design that already sell plants to add these to their collection to support a local entrepreneur. Find partnership, find other businesses you can collaborate to go to market. Non-competing businesses, ideally. Maybe you're a consultant. You consult. There was somebody who posted before, I'll go there just now, but somebody who helps manage social media. Now, maybe that person wants to go to a website development company, a marketing agency. You want to go to other consultants, other organizations that have the kind of clients that you want to sell to. Now, obviously, there comes a lot of complication where, but what if they steal my clients? What if I steal their clients? But these are small things to be concerned about, especially when at the beginning, what's really important is every single rand you can bring in. Because when you bring in clients, when you bring in money, you bring in three things. One, you bring in money, cash flow. Two, you start creating a reputation for yourself. When you open a little Airbnb, bed and breakfast, a little restaurant, a little whatever, and the first clients start coming, people start speaking about it. They start saying, hey, that was actually quite cool. You can start saying, already 10 clients are using my products, my services, my hotel, my whatever, my car sharing. If you are an Uber driver, advertise it. You got 37,000 drives behind you. That's a phenomenal track record. Put it out there. Make it your call to action. Maybe you start getting independent bookings that don't go through a Uber platform so you can keep the commission. This is where I'm talking about. Share what you are looking for. Gives you an opportunity to invite people to collaborate with you. And it's a fine art, and it doesn't always go smoothly. So don't get married on day one with a potential partner. It's the same advice I often give to people who are looking for a business partner. You know, you Lucky and York meet for a coffee. We get so excited because we have this brilliant idea, and then we immediately go and start a company together. My suggestion is, just like with a partnership in business, just like with a partnership with a co-founder, don't start on day one. Don't get married on day one. You want to go on a number of dates. You want to get to know each other. People are always happy and get along beautifully when everything is going well, when the excitement phase is up. But a year from now, when money isn't materializing as quickly as you hoped, when there's friction, when one partner is not pulling the weight, they're not doing what you expected them to do, when they are not performing like you hoped, or you are not performing, maybe there's a family crisis. This is then when you discover the real nature of the person you partnered in, the real nature of the business you partnered with. That's why I always suggest go on a lot of dates. Publicly, you can be seen as one, but internally, just work on a lot of transactions together until you figure out that working together actually works brilliantly. So, on that note, if you start sharing what you're working on, what you're struggling with, and what you're looking for. You're giving an opportunity for people to start engaging with you. And you can do this on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. Twitter is a bit short, so it's a bit more challenging. What I tend to do is on LinkedIn, I write a nice post. Remember the post that I told you about with the project to tackle unemployment in the local municipality? I share it on LinkedIn. I say, this is a project that we're doing, and these are the learnings that we do. The reason why I put learnings is I try to add value in every post to others. You want to post things that add value, not to just add ego. Because ego, everybody wants to be important. Look at your timeline. Look at how many people show how important they are, speaking in a conference with a microphone, being awarded this, being awarded that. And you're probably going, part of you is going, well done to you, but 80% of you is going, this is boring. I learned nothing from watching that post. If you're going to show off something, an achievement, show it off with, hey, everybody, I am really honored to have been given this award or to have been shortlisted for this competition. And these are the 3 things we did to come to this level. And I hope this will help you reach the same level that we did. So, make a post less about you and the ego and more about sharing and knowledge, so that people start thanking you and being grateful and connecting with you. That is the power of moving away from a post that is ego-driven to a post that is value-driven. And I really, really advise you to do that also on Facebook. I understand a lot of us, I'm not just talking Facebook, your Facebook page for your company. I'm talking your personal Facebook profile page. I understand a lot of us are using Facebook for personal reason, but you're an entrepreneur. You don't have time to use valuable resources like Facebook to share crap, to share nonsense, to share stupid little things or conspiracy theories or political views, unless you're absolutely passionate and you really feel you need to. Keep things a little bit more to yourself. You're a brand. You know that. I'm sure you've heard it many times. What you share on Facebook, on your personal page, says something about you to me. Now, I have seen many people that I want to work with, young people, phenomenal young people from rural areas. They say, York, I'm so excited. I really would like to be part of a startup tribe and so forth. They add me on Facebook because that's what you, I guess, do. And when I look at the posts on Facebook, and they are sexist, they are womanizing, they are stupid about, and I know they don't mean it. That's not who they are. Just because you share silly things doesn't mean you're a silly person. But what does it say about you? Do people want to work with you? Every post, everything you share is a statement about you. Guys, I'll show you something. Status updates on WhatsApp. First, change your WhatsApp from a personal WhatsApp to a business WhatsApp. It doesn't cost you any money. It's Google it. There's tons of free YouTube clips. But business WhatsApp is 30 times more powerful than personal WhatsApp for an entrepreneur. You can send auto replies. You can schedule WhatsApp status updates. You can categorize people into prospects, into suppliers, into friends, into family, so that you can send distribution messages to a group of people. So prospects, did you know that we have a special this week only for Black Monday, 80% off? And you don't have to create. So it's very powerful. So I'm just giving you a tip there. But even WhatsApp status updates is an opportunity to sell. Hey, for example, if let's say I'm going back to the analogy of me growing these plants, right? I can take a selfie now. So I'll take a selfie just to give you an example. There we go. And I take a selfie of me with my plant saying, hey, do you know, here's one tip to keeping your plants green, to making them last longer, or to use less water, or this is how you save money. I can do funny things, do a memo while you're eating the plant. It doesn't have to be serious. Make it fun, engaging. Use it again to share what you are working on. Tebazzo is sitting in a cool space with a background. You know how many times he could use his WhatsApp status and Instagram to show off the work that they do and how organized they are and how many people are for people to start to get to know the kind of things and that they supply, their service, and so forth. So use opportunities to use your social media to generate leads, to create a brand. Get away from posting stupid pictures. Get away from sharing content that doesn't add value, guys. Use your social media. Yes, it's okay to share a beautiful picture of your children or of your nieces or the fact that you were out with friends, but then use it intelligently to add value to people, to make people start to think, oh, wow, Lucky is such a nice guy. I really engage with you. I really believe, I really like his approach to life. I really want to follow him. When people start following you, you start creating a community, and selling to a community, to people who believe in you, is much easier than cold selling. Nobody spends 500 Rand out of the blue on something they don't know anything about, they don't trust, and they don't know the owner, and they don't know if a product is a right fit. I'll talk about the sales methodology just now. So guys, we got the last 30 minutes. I want to invite you to really also, when you share things, to really share them beautifully. Remember what I said? Beautiful image, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google, beautiful image, a little bit about what you're doing and what you learn so that others can learn from it. And then hashtags, do a couple of hashtags. And then hopefully people start looking at you and commenting. Let's say who else is on the call? Refilwe or Chepo, or you see a comment from me, and you you see a post from me, and you comment below and you say, York, thanks very much for sharing, really interesting. Get away from sharing that kind of comment, guys. What you want to start sharing, what you want to comment on, is comment on, York, I really like the post you did on the Modimolle township, on how you're trying to tackle unemployment in the entrepreneurship, by introducing entrepreneurship in Modimolle. It's interesting, we worked on a similar project in Diepsloot or in Alexandria, it doesn't matter where. My point here is I want you to use your commenting on other people's posts as an opportunity to showcase. Now, don't be cheap about this. Don't just plug your services. Just appreciate it, thank them, show them why it was relevant, move away. What happens is York likes when somebody comments on his post. So York will look at yours, will definitely like it. And maybe I will write, well, thank you very much for your great comments. Really interesting. You know, I actually would love to chat a little bit more, or here's a resource. Now, you start creating a conversation, we create a bond. Now you're not just somebody who comments, you are lucky. No, not lucky, you're lucky the person who I want to start a conversation with. Now, here's a cool thing. What most people don't realize is the algorithm of LinkedIn and Facebook are built not on the posts, they're built on the comments relevancy. When I comment on your post, what you don't know is what I'm doing is getting the algorithm of LinkedIn to promote first in my network the post plus my comment. So people see, oh, you're commented on somebody's post. It creates more visibility. The second thing is, this is cool. When you comment, let's say on my post, on my LinkedIn profile, and try it today. Find a post, comment on it, say, oh, this is really interesting, or thanks very much for sharing this, or yeah, this is something I've been struggling for a while. And I'll comment back. What actually happens is LinkedIn notifies my network, which is almost 20,000 people, and tells them, hey, York just commented on Lucky's post, or on Lucky's comment, or he just replied to Lucky's comment. I'm giving you free publicity. Isn't that cool? I'm giving you publicity and visibility and top of mind to thousands of people in my network. That's a little trick that you can do to start getting your engagement, your foot in the door of many other networks. Imagine you are trying to sell your tomatoes to somebody who does to supply chain for groceries. Well, start commenting on the person's posts, saying, listen, I really love this initiative. Don't be cheap. Don't be too pushy. But start saying, hey, my name is Joy. I really love your supply chain suggestion. I'm actually currently struggling in selling my tomatoes that I grow at the back of my house. And your post really helped me. Now, York goes, Joy, really? You're growing tomatoes? Tell me a little bit more. What's the quantity? What's the quality? But what I'm pointing is I'm starting a conversation with her that allows us to start selling. And please, Sam, please start taking questions. I've got tons of other things, but I'm not going to go through all of them. What I'm really encouraging you is remember everything that you do has a cost, is an investment. So to summarize, while you can start writing questions. 1, rebrand yourself around what you solve, okay? 2, use what you solve and you put it into your email signature. There's a lot of free tools, WiseStamp, for example, .com, or many others where you can create emails, nice, cool looking email signatures. Every email signature, everything has to call to action. Then, so you have a statement about what you solve, the call to action, maybe what you're passionate about in your email signature. Then you go to canva.com and create a Canva for a LinkedIn banner, for a Facebook banner, for Google, for Google Maps, for Facebook, and so forth. Then start posting and sharing what you're working on, what you're looking for, and what you're struggling with. Always put a bit of effort. Put a little bit of effort. Do a post every 3 days. Don't do 10 posts a day. Every 3 days, put a beautiful image. And the formula is, I recently was doing a project, or I'm planning to do a project with this to solve this. And these are the 3 things that I would advise other people who are doing similar work or clients in that space. We recently helped the home reduce the energy consumption. If you're also struggling with high electricity bills, here's 3 things you can look at. I'm selling without selling directly. Now, last point about sales. Nobody is going to land on your page, your Facebook page, your WhatsApp. And by the way, that's why I was saying WhatsApp business. Make your call to action go straight to your phone. You don't do selling something online, but even if you're selling something online, make them go to your phone, spend 1 minute going, oh, Joy, really, you're interested in my phone covers? That's so nice of you. Thank you so much. Let me send you a link where you can buy them. You're going to make it really hard for Joy not to buy because I made it personal. So Joy is now in a horrible situation where I've put her on the spot. I've thanked her from the bottom of my heart, and she feels terrible for not now buying this 70 Rand cover or whatever the thing is. You want to create the bond. Do you guys know a film called The Wolf of Wall Street? It's a horrible film in the sense it's a wonderful film, but the film is about somebody who steals money. But he cons people into buying things. And he's always said, there's a spectrum. People either is no or yes to your product and services. Don't go after the no. The no's, leave them. But anybody just a little bit away from the no, you only have to do 5 things to get them to a yes. Now you can Google, YouTube, watch them. But my point here is this, and I don't remember all of them, but the one thing, do I believe their product? Like, my plants can last 10,000 years. Really? Your plants will never last 10,000 years. In my house, the plants don't last a week. 2, is the person behind, do I believe in the person behind the product? Do you know at this stage of your business, people believe in you, not your business. They know that you're a startup. So if you're asking somebody to bet 1 million Rand on you, they're going to be scared. But you say, listen, you buy these cups, they're amazing. I use them myself. I produce them at home. And if they break, I will replace them for you. There's no risk. You're buying however much a cup costs, 60 Rand. I love the fact that MC is actually in the car and watching this from a car. That was too funny. So the third thing is the product right for me? And that comes to the problem statement that you make. And then I forgot the other 2. So you're not moving anybody from getting to a yes. Nobody lands and buys. You got to get land and then hook them in, and then they get to yes. When you hook them in, they're going to become brand ambassador. They're going to become your biggest fans. That is why I failed a number of businesses, but people believed in York. They believed in what I stand for, which is to make an impact, to make a difference. So when I fail a business, I'm very honest about it. I said, guys, I didn't manage a cash flow. I couldn't grow, blah, blah, blah. I failed it. I had to shut it. Here's my lessons. I am so sorry to everybody. I'm now going to try my second round, and voila. And then people come and they buy into me.
Okay, you've shared some incredible insights this morning, but what I love the most about your address today is how authentic you are. You're so authentic. I can't believe it. You know, I read
coffee. It's a coffee.
Social media. It's the coffee. We love the coffee. Keep it going. I read a post on social media the other day where someone was saying the time is up for successful entrepreneurs to lie to startups and say, look, I started my chicken business with nothing but a feather. You can also do it. Go for it, because there's lack of authenticity. So what you've shared with us today shows us that we also need to be authentic with the voice that we use on social media. You said something very, very profound, that if you can't explain your value proposition to a 6-year-old, then you probably need to go back to the drawing board. And I think that's a big challenge that you gave us. You also said that we should ask our friends and our family members, what is it that they think we do? If they can't answer us, then we need to go back to the drawing board. So maybe let me open up now to our delegates and find out from them, what are some of the questions that they have?
No, wait. Stop everything. Somebody just said they're a tea lover. This is not good. Unacceptable. Leave it. Kick him out from the room.
No, we don't want tea lovers here. We only do coffee.
Hey, what is this nonsense with tea loving?
Oh, goodness.
But can I just touch on one point while we're waiting for the questions to come in, guys?
Yes.
You can actually start a business with just a feather. And what I mean by that, I'm not being a bit sarcastic, but I'm releasing next week a course. It's a free course, so don't worry, there's no charge. But it's how to start a farm when you don't own land and you don't have money. That means if you have a terrace or live in a shack, you can actually start to grow tomatoes or chilies. You put these chilies, and these plants are cheaply available from anywhere or at no cost. You know, hey, everybody, does anybody have spare tomato plants? You know, the soil is available. The tires are available. You can really grow and start creating 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 rand a month interest, turnover. And packaging, it's a piece of plastic with a little wrapper and a little label. It says best chilies in Soweto. And then you walk the streets of Soweto. So you don't need a lot of money to own your destiny. This is my point. And that's why you need a feather. You need knowledge. And knowledge is empowering. Now, I'm not talking about going from zero to international business. That's why a lot of the businesses I failed is because I grew too fast. My back office, my systems, my processes, my collecting of invoices wasn't set up in place for growth. So take baby steps. Grow, sell, bring in the money. Use that money to grow, sell, bring in the money. You know, take baby steps. It's a powerful education, entrepreneurship, and you're going to fail a few times, unfortunately. Now, I just want to give you one resource that I promised. If you are an entrepreneur, there's a friend of mine, Andrew Marin. He started something called ProfitSharePartners.com. It's backed by FMB and Edge Growth. So it's a do-good initiative. They have a few billion rands. And they fund entrepreneurs who don't have a track record. So let's say I'm looking for shoes. Let's say I have a cool sneaker that is painted with Ndebele art, or it has a really funky stuff. And I don't have the money to buy 500 of the sneakers to import them from China or to produce them. They will give you the money for those sneakers. They don't give you the money for wages and everything. They're going to, however, hold the sneakers in a warehouse, and as you sell them, they're going to give them to you. So there's many ways. I'm not saying just them, but what I'm saying is you don't need money to start a business. You need financing. to allow you to buy the stock, to start to sell, to generate more money. And so there's many tools out there. So get away from this. I wish I could start a business if I only had 100,000 Rand. You don't. There's many other ways you can start a business without money, unless you're starting a factory, of course, but you don't want to start a factory on day one.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely, sorry, Matlodi, that's absolutely profound, York. And you are an advocate of this principle that your first funder is your first customer. So, if you're truly a startup or a small business, or obviously majority are startups and small business and idealists, and addressing you now, you need the first customer. You need a cost, and York said it earlier also. If you don't, if you call yourself an entrepreneur and you don't have clients, you are an hobbyist. That is, you are just passing time. And he said you can't be passing time as an entrepreneur because it is a resources that you don't want to waste. You don't want to waste that time. You don't want to waste your time. So, in a nutshell, before we start taking questions, look for customers. Stop this fixation on if I don't get funding, I won't start. Thank you. Thank
absolutely,
you.
Absolutely, Sam.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And guys, by the way, just maybe this is the interesting part. If you don't have a business yet, I saw quite a lot of hands at the beginning saying, I have an idea. So create a website. No, not even a website. Google Sites. I don't know if you know it, but there's WordPress, there's Google Sites. There is tons of free website tools. Yes, exactly. My point here is create a landing page. You don't want a website. You don't need an about me, contact history, blah, blah. Create a landing page just has a counter that says, hey, everybody, I'm planning to start a business that helps households to save water. And I in Soweto, in Alex, in Anthony, in Hyde Park, it doesn't matter where. I'm looking to see if there's enough interest. If you're interested, please, would you add your email to be notified, and you will get 40% off on the first call out, or a free consultation. My point here is you can gauge how much interest there really is, and if nobody's interested, guys, it's okay. It's feedback. Don't take the feedback personally. Failure is not a reflection of who you are. It's the market giving you feedback that your business isn't ready in that format yet.
That's so on point. That's so on point. And sorry, guys, I don't want to make this about myself and York, but I just want to reemphasize his point. On a high level, what the principle you just explained is called A/B testing. I know that because I do that for clients a lot, with my web development background. However, in a layman term, also, it is called generating leads. You want to generate leads. And when you are now ready to start a business, you can convert the leads to customer. Thank you. Matlodi, my face, beauty, and style has raised our hands, and so it's Takofato.
Let's start with my face beauty. Can you kindly just come onto video and bring on your sound and ask your question to York, but be as direct as possible? My face
Hello, hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, 67 CEOs. Thank you, Program Director, everybody. Many York, find a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
My question is, usually when we go for funding and applications, we have challenges where they would ask for financial statements. So as a small company or as a starting company or growing, financial statements, well, usually, let me just say from my side, I started off with a personal account. Then looking for funding, they said your business account. Then, started learning all things about compliance. So now what would be your advice when it comes to financial statements? Going from a personal account as a business and now going to a business account, growing into a business formally. Starting off as personal account, now going into financial statements and business account. Thank you.
Okay. So awesome. Thank you. Now, guys, I have been through the same journey. I use my personal account to cross-subsidize my business, and my bookkeeper went nuts because she didn't know anymore what I was doing. And so it's absolutely okay to be a bit messy in the beginning. One thing that I've learned is that if you don't know what's going on in your business, how much is it costing you? How much are you spending on coffees and meetings? How much are you spending on taxis, on Ubers? How much are you spending on social media, money and time, I guess? You don't know what you're running. You don't know your business. If you don't know what you're wasting, now it doesn't matter if you're using your personal account because the business account is too expensive for now. It's fine, but create financial records. And I use an app called MoneyWiz. There's tons of free apps. I mean, don't ask me. Find one that you like, that works for you, that is simple. For example, I literally, when I go shop in a coffee store, if I'm meeting Sam for coffee, it's a work. I'm sorry, Sam. Let's assume it's a work meeting. I take a picture of a receipt, load it to my app, and now I know and categorize it as work coffee. So I have social coffee and I have work coffees. At the end of the month, I know exactly how much I'm spending. And now that is a track record. That may not be a financial statement for SaaS, but it's actually starting to give you. Now, when you go to an investor or a funder and you can show them that the last 12 months, you've done this, 6 months, you know exactly your cost of sale, how much your fixed overheads are, your variable cost, all these terms, you feel much more in control. Now, it's also scary because you can't lie to yourself anymore. You can't lie. No, but I don't spend so much. Why am I so broke at the end of the month? MoneyWiz. There's a lot of other ones. I just forgot. There's one that I used to love that for startups is brilliant. They have a total solution with invoicing. You can send out invoicing, check if payment was made, check all the slips and manage your finances, business finances. And I forgot what it's called, but Google them. There's tons of them. But don't, for heaven's sake, send a paper invoice anymore. Send it via your WhatsApp business account. Send it, done, received. Now, going back to the question, I'm sorry, but I'm sort of Italian and me goes all over. But there are organizations that say, no, we want 6 months financial statements. That's good, but the world is changing and there are new Wave app. Yes, thank you, Marang. Now, there's a lot of organizations that are waking up, like a Profit Share Partners. I was telling you, you can go to their website and apply for financing immediately. What they do is they look at the risk of you, not whether you have 10 years of history. So they don't care about your financials. They work around who are you? What are you trying to achieve? How can we de-risk that? It's like if I went to Sam and I say, Sam, I've got 10 clients who are interested in buying my phone covers. I don't have money to buy them. Will you buy it for me? You have a little bit of spare cash. Buy it for me. You keep it in your house and just send it when I get the money. Now, Sam will say, okay, I don't mind that I can live with. So think out of the box and don't go for tenders of 10 million rand. You can't afford it. You don't have the resource nor the talent yet to achieve those. Forget tenders, actually, generally, as somebody who did a few tenders myself. They're worse for you than you imagine. But anyway, so that's my advice to you. There's different solutions. There's different ways to go about it. Use an app. Doesn't matter if right now you're still using your private account. What you want to show, whether it's your private or business account, that you're on top of your numbers. You know your numbers.
Sure. That was a very rich answer. Thank you so much.
Sorry. That's a lovely way of saying 100%. Too long. A rich answer.
No, it was rich. It was loaded and packed with nutrition. Can we move to Tshegofatso's question? Tshegofatso?
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you very much for an informative masterclass, Mr. Yok. Okay, so I sell traditional shoes and necklaces. So I advertise my product online on WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. So people connect with me, telling me the dates on which they want the product, but on the day when we should meet up for delivery, they ignore me. So I'm really asking myself, what am I doing wrong?
Well, you're not getting any commitment from one hand from the other person. Look at all of us have done events. How many people say, no, I'll sign up for an event, and then on the day, half the people pitch up because they have no skin in the game. So what I'm asking you, is there a way you can do a 5% deposit? Just something symbolic, but covers your coffee and your taxi fare. And use it from an app. Find an app, but I don't know, PayPal or whatever. I really don't know what apps are in South Africa. Zap or something, I don't know. Where the person on WhatsApp says, I love your shoes. You do the size. This traditional shoe, by the way, is quite intriguing. Do you want to, like I already imagined the tagline, Sam, do you want to stand out from all the other people? Do you want to reconnect to your culture? And I don't know if traditional shoes, is that what you mean? But I'm saying my point here is tap into our ego, into our selfishness. Like, I'm interested now. And then when you WhatsApp with me on WhatsApp, when you chat with me on WhatsApp, you say, York, fantastic. So did I understand you correctly? You want I really don't know what the traditional shoe is, but you want the specific shoe, the Zulu shoe, in yellow, and you want it in size 46. Cool, that's 640 Rand. I kindly ask you to put a 10% deposit, and here's a link to pay.
Nice.
Or 5%, something minimal, but at least there's now a buy-in. And we humans fear much more losing than winning. So when I will pitch up, because even if symbolically I will only lose 30 Rand for the deposit, it's 30 Rand I don't want to lose.
I love that answer. And the same applies to even people offering services online. You want to get people to commit because people value money. So if you can put, even if it's something small as what York advised, a 10% deposit, people will value that and they'll want to make good on their promise. So
absolutely.
I hope it helps you.
And I just want to add, and if a person doesn't pay, forget them. Remember what I said, you don't want 1,000 people who waste your time, you want the 10 people who buy. And by the way, you start commenting on my post, start saying, York, I saw you did a workshop on stage the other day. I would so love if one day you would wear my shoes. This kind of things, just be funny about it. Don't just, hey, please.
I love it.
Martin?
Martin also has a question.
I have a uniform business, right?
Yeah.
So I'm usually working on orders, like the schools. Normally they used to buy uniforms from me and then sell them to the students, to the learners, right? These days, that rule has changed. So I have to make those uniforms. I sew them and then embroider them and then take them to the schools. The children will buy from the schools. I have to go and fetch the money whenever we decide on the time. So this one is not really working for me anymore because, sometimes you go there to fetch money and it's very little. So I'm just asking, is it wise for me to go and start a uniform store nearby, in the nearby shop, and then have the stress of the rent and everything? Or should I just continue with this one? But it's not really working well for me anymore.
So thank you for that. It's a beautiful problem, when the market forces you to change your business. Now, none of us are expert in your business. So take our advice as just one person's advice, not as we know it all, okay? When you were speaking, I said, wow, this is such a great opportunity. And the reason why I suddenly decided to say that is, imagine if instead of selling it to the school, you have a day where you go with your car and two of your colleagues and you do measurements for kids. It doesn't matter if you don't do measurements. What I'm saying is, if Sam pitches up and I measure him, you already know that Sam is a standard medium, a standard large, or whatever. So it's not like you're measuring and custom making clothes. But you offer the school to all the parents to bring their kids on a specific day where you take all the measurements. And now you're getting the direct contact of the parents. And now they don't have to go through the school anymore. You can say, if you buy it through the school, it's 100 Rand. I don't know what the uniform is. It's 250 Rand. If you buy it through me, it's 235 Rand, but you have to pay directly. And now you're getting the cash before having to deliver. Plus, you can make a show. The kid who carries the best uniform wins a free cap or scarf or socks, or make it an event out of it. Maybe speak to the school. Maybe they're not against the idea. Maybe they don't want the complexity of having to manage the uniforms. So you say, you know what? I'm going to do something so cool. I want to do a whole fun, get back to school. We're going to have little drinks, and we're going to have little, sweets, and each kid gets a sweet or something.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's so on point. What's your name? You said you're using Martin's phone. What's your name?
My name is Tumi Mamalika.
Tumi, what York is advising you is create experience. Make your product offering experiential, So create experience around your product so that you can connect directly with your customers, which are the parents. The school is not your customer. The children obviously are not your customer. The parents are your customer. So create experience around being able to connect with them directly.
Wow.
Okay. Thank you.
All the best. All the best. Are you in Polokwane?
Yes, I'm in Polokwane.
Okay. All the best.
Okay, so my question is to York. How can one have a retainer? So my business basically is that we do branding for companies, we do website and social media, but sometimes just comes once and then they leave. So, but how do I keep them there? Like, have a retainer.
Yeah. So it's a good question that you ask. A lot of my friends who are in the consulting and advisory business, social media, have the same problem. I don't have the perfect solution, but it depends what you want the retainer to achieve. And let me explain this. If you're using the retainer to pay your real bills, then you're going to struggle. But you might be successful, but many people struggle. If you say, listen, at least give me 2,000 Rand retainer a month, and I'm on standby for you. 2,000 Rand is a lot for a small business. If you say, York, for as little as 150 Rand a month, I'm on standby for you, and that includes 3 free hours. And then thereafter, you also, when you buy the retainer package, you get my hourly charge at a 50% discount. Doesn't matter if it's still the higher price. You raise the price and then you give a 50% discount. My point here is, if you're using the retainer to make sure that my client Sam doesn't disappear, then that's a strategic way of using a retainer. You almost want to create a subscription model. And by the way, do not invoice a retainer every month. Find a tool that does the automatic billing and deduction from the credit card or the bank account automatically every month, because otherwise people are going to, they're not going to pay. So you say, listen, if you buy a retainer, you can have my package. My social media services are whatever they are, let's say 2,000 Rand. But if you buy a membership to my Social Media Insiders Club, you get a free webinar every week where I do question and answers for 2 hours on Facebook. You get my discounted rates. So instead of 2,000 Rand, you pay 1,700 Rand. Plus per hour rate is much cheaper. And the only thing it'll cost is 110 Rand a month.
Awesome. I can also add to that because, like I mentioned earlier, my background is website development. So I started the way I started from where you are right now, Refilwe. Let me ask you a question. Do you register the domain names for your clients?
Yes, I do. However, I had stopped that because some clients are not consistent in paying, especially if I host it for them.
I see. How many of them defaulted before you made that decision? How many of them did you have hosted? How many of them defaulted before you made the decision not to host anymore?
Pretty much every client.
I see. Yes. I see. And the reason why I asked the question is because I had the first-hand experience of that, where some of my clients were not paying their hosting. However, the advantage that I had is that I had a pool, and I've got over a decade of experience in this industry. I had a pool of customers that I hosted and registered their domains. And over the years, the numbers have dropped, but I had the ones that are consistent. I've been hosting some clients for the past 10 years, like I said, and they've been consistent. So that's another way you want to, retain them. And obviously, with what York has said, find ways to upsell certain part of your product, or what is it called? Value adding, like he said, webinar and all of that. That will keep them, even if they are not paying for the product directly, but at least that retains them. And that was your question about retainership. All the best in your business, Rufile. You're welcome.
All the best, Rufile. All the best. What I'm getting from this is that the retainer is directly linked to the value that your customers know that they will get from extending their service tenure with you. So the value, focus on the value that you are offering them.
Oh, by the way, thank you, Matlodi. By the way, Rufile, last one. Maintenance. Who does their maintenance?
I do. Well, I wear all the hats currently.
So how do you charge for maintenance?
So I charge 60 rand a month. However, I keep having to remind them that, guys, you need to and yes, startup phase.
No. You're doing well. Just keep on. Keep the momentum going.
Okay, cool.
Much appreciated, York.
Do we have questions?
I see Mubango. There was Andile and there's Mubango. Andile, if you are here, please unmute so that you can ask your question. He's asking, how does he get people from just supporting him to really buying his product?
What's the product, Andile? What's the product?
I'm selling perfumes.
Yes. He sells perfume.
Okay. Well, Rosh, again, I'm not an expert in that space, but there's so many variables on that, which I struggle a little bit to answer that, because I don't know the circumstances. Are you selling them on the side of a road, in a shopping mall, in a shop, are you selling them, to people directly online? For me, are you selling something that everybody can find everybody else, like phone covers, for example? So what is the experience around what they're buying? And if your product are available everywhere, so anybody, can look at your cup and say, okay, you sell the cup, but actually can buy the cup in a shop next door. If that's the kind of product, obviously it's a bit difficult, but maybe that's where you can start a weekly webinar on Facebook, meaning just a bit of data cost, where you say, hey, everybody, in this week, we're talking about choosing the right perfume for men who attend a lot of conferences, entrepreneurship conferences. And next week, we're doing a webinar for ladies who have just started a job and want to make the right impression with the perfume that they choose. Or what I'm saying is start to make it, and then in each webinar, you have a link where people can buy. Again, what we talked before on WhatsApp. Sam, really, thank you so much for attending the webinar. Really appreciate it. Means a lot to me on WhatsApp. And here's a link if you'd like to buy my perfume, the perfume that says that you are a real man. So you close the deal immediately. I don't know if that helps. I'm sorry, it's very broad, but I would possibly go with that approach, but or go to a hairdressing salon and split the commission of selling the perfumes. Make sure that your perfumes are in places where they're not usually.
That's absolutely on point, York, that you should find fulfillment center. That is the phrase Vusi used on Tuesday, that if you're selling the products and you can't directly get to market, look for fulfillment partners. That is to say, people that can get your product to the last mile. That's absolutely on point. Andile, I hope that helps you.
Thank you for that. Thank you, York. Let's move to Mubango, who will ask our last question for the session. Mubango, please switch on your mic.
I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
The name is Mavungu. I'm in Polokwane. Yeah, Mavungu.
My apologies for that, Mavungu.
All right. I just want to, we touched, Mr. Yoko did touch a lot on how to track basically your transactions, what you're doing on a month-to-month basis. But coming from this COVID and the way we stand now, most of us, the small businesses, our books are not looking very good. And there are businesses that we have identified as, that could actually bring in good revenue because of the new norm and stuff like that, which you'll want to venture in and try to keep consistency in your, in your income, which is not what we have. So how do you secure funding in this instance? Because you are at the verge of sinking or going under, and their ideas are there because there is new normals and we've identified new ways of doing things, but you need that injection to push. But whatever structures or methods that are there, with the books, the way that they look now from where we're coming from, it's not, we don't even know where to start or how to go about it. If you can just advise on that regard.
True. Look, I don't have all the answers. Obviously, COVID has thrown a lot in the air. I tell you one thing. So I take both sides of a table. So if I was somebody with money investing in businesses, I would look at the same way I would look at a friend who comes to me and says, look, can I borrow 1,000 rand from you? But I'm about to go broke and I don't know if I can pay it back. My heart says, oh, you're my friend. My mind says, I'm going to lose my money. So when you are a business about to go under looking for money, it's not, it's not a good value proposition for bringing confidence. So I don't have a perfect answer. I do know, like what I said before, profit share partners and others, if you are able to get the interest, they have a database of 3,000 suppliers. So what they did is they looked at corporate South Africa and said, if you have a client from this 3,000 businesses, and that client is interested in your products, we will fund you on the back of that interest. So that might be a way to attract a bit of capital, to say, okay, let me focus on one of them. And by the way, speak to profit share partners. I mean, don't just assume what I told you. Or others, it doesn't matter now who. My point is, go to them and say, look, this is my situation. I have a track record. This is what I've done. I'm stuck, but to grow, I need capital. Which of the companies can I go to? Which clients should I win over that you are prepared to invest in on the back of their interest? And that is a much more powerful way to raise capital. Obviously, it's not an easy or quick way. You got to go to the client, win, but maybe it's a client you already have. Maybe it's a person you already know. So I'm just saying it's a low-hanging fruit. The other thing is, guys, COVID has created enormous suffering for a lot of people. Like I'm not going to dismiss it, but it also has given a lot of people a good reality slap on the face to say, we cannot continue doing business same rate. Like the lady before you who sells school uniforms, the schools are in trouble. I know personally one of the schools I went to yesterday is about to close down. Now, schools are in trouble, so they're going to try to focus on what they do, and maybe there's an opportunity in there somewhere to reinvent in business, but that doesn't mean it's going to be comfortable. It doesn't mean you can keep the beautiful office or the warehouse that you used to have. It might have to ruffle a lot of feathers. So, reinvention is never pleasant. It's uncomfortable, but sometimes it's the best thing that can happen to us. Unfortunately, the school of entrepreneurship, of real life entrepreneurship, is one of the hardest schools we all have to go through. But when we go through it, it's one of the best schools ever.
Wow. Sure. Signed, sealed, and delivered. York, thank you so much. I'm not sure if you have any parting remarks just after answering Mabungu's question. Any final remarks to close off today's session?
Okay, so what I would do, 3 things. 1, learn to grow slowly. Focus on each baby client at a time. Don't hope for that huge lucky break that will get you from 0 to hero. It's not going to happen. So growing slowly is the best gift you can give to yourself. The second thing is understand that you're going to fail your business. So when you grow slowly, you're also walking slower. You're doing baby steps. So when a setback happens, it's easier to recover. When you're sprinting and you fall, you're going to hurt yourself much more. So when you walk slowly, grow a few tomatoes in the back of your garden. You sell the tomatoes, you bring in 300 Rand. You learn what the customers needs. You understand the packaging. You can manage the process without having to hire other people. And the final thing is invest much more time on sales and not just on your idea and your product and service. So rule of thumb, 30 to 60% should be spent on sales. And we talked about the things you can do on a practical level in a COVID world, which makes us much more online. So what I showed you today is things to help you connect to other people to start creating a commercial relationship, hopefully.
I have to give it up for Mr. York. Can you please just give it up for Mr. York? If your microphone is on mute, just unmute, please, and give it up for Mr. York. Yes.
Thank you. Now I'm blushing. Thank you, everybody, for having invested in your time, for having invested in yourselves. You guys are amazing. It's not an easy journey, but just keep at it.
Very grateful, York, for that, for the presentation. Thank you for making time for the entrepreneurs. I followed your work over years, and indeed, you are truly committed to the development of small businesses and startups in South Africa, Africa, and globally. And your work is truly speaking in that purpose. And for 67 CEOs, we are very grateful. Thank you so much. You've shared a lot of invaluable content to the entrepreneurs. And my hope is that they would apply the things you've shared and then return with the testimonial on the impact of the content on their business and the growth thereof. Thank you so much, York.
Thank you.
And to all the, Matlodi?
There you have it, everyone. There you have it. We hope that this is a perfect springboard for you who will be submitting your business pitches between today and tomorrow. Don't forget the hashtags, hashtag 67CEOs GEW 2020 in partnership with Exaro Resources. Hashtag powering possibility. And remember, just as York reminded us today, entrepreneurs are neither born nor made. Entrepreneurs are panel beaten. So use this opportunity to panel beat yourself into excellence. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day further.
Thank you, Matlodi. Guys, it's time to switch on your microphone and your video. Let's wave and let's, Yes. Switch on your microphone. Switch on your microphone. Switch on your microphone.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Great to have you guys. Thank you so much.